Howdy. So, I have a song here that I did last year with a ukulele lesson. But this year, I figured I'll do a guitar lesson for it. And it is the 10 Days of Thanksgiving. So, if you need a song to sit around and strum guitar and sing after you have your Thanksgiving dinner, this is the song for you. If you're a guitar teacher or any music teacher, because this has chords and everything, feel free to borrow this and teach students. It's pretty easy. I have it written out as just basic open chords like G, C, D, A minor, A. I think that's about it. I think I said E minor. But anyway, so it will all be written in the description underneath, which reminds me, make sure that you like the video, subscribe, comment, do all of that stuff, because it only takes a second or two. It helps me out a lot, and it helps me rationalize to my wife that I actually really have like an actual job. So, help me out here. Subscribe, share. That's a great thing you could do too. Share and tell all your friends to subscribe and all that jazz. So anyway, the 10 Days of Thanksgiving. It's based on the 10 Days of Christmas song. So pretty simple. Most everybody would know that. The intro verses, they are shockingly weird. Shockingly weird. Such a strange song. But like I said, it'll all be written out in the description. So I'm just going to kind of go over it really quick. So the intro, I sort of I didn't write the song. It was Rachel Rambachs, if I'm pronouncing that right. But anyway, I did sort of do the arrangement with the chords and stuff. So the intro, I just have really simple G, C, G, D, G. Okay, so the G for one beat, C for one beat, G for one beat, D for one beat, and then G for 4 beats. But technically it's 4 beats, but you play 3 beats, and then the 4th beat is the beginning of verse 1, the on the. So it's the G, 1, 2, 3, on the is already the beginning of verse 1. So then verse 1, if we use that as just sort of a pickup, whatever, then we have on the G, G, E minor, A minor, D, G, 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 C, G, D, G, 2, 3, 4. And again, the 4th beat of that last G is really the on the of the 2nd verse. So, pretty simple so far, right? Okay. Now, here's where it starts to get weird. And notice that I say starts to get weird, because it gets weirder. But here's where it starts to get weird, okay? So verse 2, of course, has the additional on the 2nd day of Thanksgiving. And it has the additional, this is what I ate, in this case, 2 cups of eggnog. Then, and some turkey on my plate. So it adds that 2nd day, okay? So obviously we have to add some stuff. And it's really simple here. All we do is we add 4 beats of D, okay? So we end up with, on the 2nd day of Thanksgiving, this is what I ate. 2 cups of eggnog and some turkey on my plate. And if you could hear me singing, I apologize. I can't sing. But anyway, so there we are, pretty simple, right? Okay, now we go on to the 3rd verse, and it starts off easy enough. Okay, starts off exactly the same as the first 2 verses. G, G, E minor, A minor, D, G, G. Then, the 3rd thing that gets added, 3 mashed potatoes, is in 3/4 time. So it's 1, 2, 3, then 4 beats of D. So it's 3 mashed potatoes, and then 2 cups of eggnog and some, and that 4th D is sort of the pickup on the and some turkey on my plate. Okay. Then the fourth verse, we add, okay, so the fourth verse, I had to write notes because it's so confusing. The fourth verse is the same as the third verse with an extra measure of 3/4 on the D, because now we've added 4 heaps of green beans. So 4 heaps of green beans, 3 mashed potatoes, 2 cups of eggnog, and some. And that's where the 4 D's come in on the 2 cups of eggnog, because then we have the and some turkey on my plate. Then verse 5, and it gets quite a bit weirder here. So it starts off the same, G, we're at 5th. On the 5th day of Thanksgiving, this is what I ate. So, sorry, 2 of the G. This is what I ate. So 5 golden rolls. So it ends up being G for 2 beats, A for 2 beats, A major for 2 beats, and D 2, 3 is only 3/4. So we end up with verse 5 being okay, then G for the 4 heaps of green beans, where previously it had been D, it's now G, and it's 3/4 time. So 4 heaps of green beans. Now 3 mashed potatoes, previously it had been the D chord, now it's the C for 3 beats, 3/4 time. Now 2 cups of eggnog is now A, D, D, so it's back to 4/4 time. Previously it had been just the D chord for 4 beats. Now it's A, D, D, and then it ends the same. And some turkey on my plate. On the 6th day of Thanksgiving, this is what I ate. So then it adds 6 spoons of gravy. So 1, 2, 3, 3/4 time. So 6 spoons of gravy, and then 5 golden rolls. 2 cups of eggnog. I'm getting confused. So that's verse 6. And then each consecutive verse, 6 spoons of gravy at that point where it's the D for 3/4. Then on the 7th verse, right before that, you add 1 measure 3/4 of D. So it starts off the same, G, E minor, A minor, D, G, and then 7 sips of soup, 6 spoons of gravy, and then the 5 So, verse 8, 9, 10, all you're doing is adding 1 measure of 3/4 on D at the appropriate spot for the 8 ears of corn, 9 scoops of stuffing, 10 pumpkin pies. So, there we are. Confusing, I know. But once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. And I have it all typed out in the description again. So all you have to do is just print that, copy it into whatever printing program you're going to use, print it out. And then it's easy enough to actually follow through the whole thing, especially if you know how the song goes. So anyway, there you go. Okay, enjoy, and happy Thanksgiving.